An 800 horsepower SUV that comes straight from the dealership with a warranty. What more can you possibly ask for? So today we're going to go shopping, taking a look at one of the baddest SUVs that there is. We're going to dig into the performance, styling, and last but not least, the price point on one of these bad boys. So the ride in question is the 2024 Yenko SC Tahoe and Suburban. There's a 700 and 800 horsepower package available. This is the most powerful limited edition GM full-size SUV available. I think that it might also be probably the most powerful SUV that you can buy with a warranty, and it comes straight from GM dealers nationwide. By the way, if you're more interested in a GMC or a Cadillac, very, very similar packages are available in both the Yukon and the Escalade as well. So if you tuned in a couple weeks ago with my Yenko Silverado video, this truck is very similar to that. They come with a 700 and 800 horsepower package. That's accomplished through, let's get to this part, a blueprinted aluminum block, race quality computer balanced rotating assembly, a forged twisted steel crankshaft, forged aluminum pistons, upgraded cylinder heads, and Yenko's or SVE, who owns Yenko's own in-house developed supercharger unit, and a dual exhaust. With that much weight, you're going to want to make sure the brakes are upgraded as well. And, you know, for one reason or another, it seems like we don't really focus a lot on brakes. It seems to be like the last thing thought about, but brakes are very important, and especially in something this heavy. This package comes with Yenko badged Brembo 6-piston big front brake calipers, along with 16.1-inch vented rotors as well, to really help get this thing stopped. Yeah, I mean, with some cars, I guess if you're building a Corvette, you can get away with not really upgrading the brakes, but with a Tahoe, something that's not designed to go fast, one, and something that's super heavy for two, you're going to want to upgrade the brakes. Also, while we're down there by the wheels, you can get this upgraded suspension as well. The sports suspension will lower the truck 2 inches in the front and 3 in the back, which to me, you know, I think that it gives it a little bit cleaner of a look. If you're going for that sport truck, why not lower it down a little bit? It's not like you're going to take this thing off-road or anything like that. Moving into the visual aspect of things here, you can get the truck in a number of different colors. I'm not really a red guy, but there's this radiant metallic red looks pretty good because it's more of like a deep, like metallic red instead of just a stark red. Ironically, the Corvette that I have is that stark red that is one of my least favorite colors. I guess when you get a good deal, you get a good deal there, right? Then you have Hugger Orange on Summit White. Hugger Orange, you know, classic GM performance color. I think that this one's my favorite. Let me know which one's your guys' favorite in the comments below. I think I would have to go with white on Auburn Metallic. It's kind of like a brownish red color. I think that I like this just because it's something, you know, a little bit different. And then you have black on Sterling Gray Metallic, also a pretty slick combo. Blue on Empire Beige Metallic. I think that's probably, I don't know, I like the new trend that's doing like beige colors on trucks, but not this kind of beige. I'll put the one on screen that I'm talking about, but you know, the new beige trend is cool. This is not my style though. Silver on Dark Ash Metallic. Can't really go wrong with like these dark, like almost black colors. And you have white on Midnight Blue Metallic again. Like these dark colors are just, you know, always good to go with. Which do you guys like the most out of this? I'm going with the Auburn for sure. It's an oddball choice a little bit, but I think that's all me. And they have these custom. Oh, they can do custom colors, I guess. These are the available stripe colors, though. Other than that, you get this unique set of wheels. I believe they are also an in-house design that you couldn't really go out and buy. You get the Yenko badging, which, you know, just a cool little touch. You know, your inner racer starts to come out a little bit. It's like, all right, I like the badges. I do. Another pretty cool option is this blackout trim package that you have here. you know, it really depends on the vehicle nowadays for me. If you're gonna have chrome, I kind of don't like chrome on newer cars. These sort of blackout options, which also continue, where are we at here, over to the front of the vehicle. You can have these details on the grille blacked out as well, which I feel like goes a little bit better with the round. I feel like the chrome kind of accents are better on more square cars. You know, like old school Camaros or GTOs. Like even like when I was doing the pickup truck thing, like the big chrome bumpers on the older square vehicles look pretty cool. These kind of like more modern round vehicles though, I think I like the blackout, which is an option here. Another thing that they offer is color matching the trim, which you can kind of see here. Another trick thing. All this stuff has kind of like been around in the aftermarket community for a while, but with something like this, you can kind of just plug and play, get your warranty, and roll out the door. If you're somebody who doesn't want to really work on your vehicle, like I feel like that's shamed a lot these days in the performance community, is if you buy something like this from the factory. But I mean, realistically, if you like, I think it's a weird thing to care about if somebody works on their own vehicle or not. As I've gotten older, I felt more and more that way. But like with something like this, you don't have to work on it, and you know, there's no shame in that at all. This next piece of the puzzle, you guys are gonna think I'm a little bit weird for being so into this, but the truck also does come with these retractable side steps, which are an option as well. You know, they go in when the door closes and they come out when the door opens. And they're like a thing that's been around too. But I remember when these things first came out and I was so obsessed with them. I think I first saw them maybe in like the 2008 to 2010 era Escalades. I don't know if they were around before that or not. That's just when I first remember seeing them be like an option for like a common vehicle. And I thought they were the coolest thing ever. And on these you can get them. You know, they're more frequent these days. But I've never had a truck with these actually. I got to add that to the list. Just a cool little, you know, one of the little touches that really brings together a build and makes it come to life. When you head to the interior, there's a couple more little things to spice the truck up. The really cool thing today is that, you know, every manufacturer seems to be getting closer and closer on quality. It's becoming more and more affordable to put quality interiors in vehicles. So especially in these brand new trucks, you see these really high-end interiors that, you know, back in the day, obviously GM got kind of slammed a little bit for not making high quality interiors. And as a GM person who has had tons of GM products, I can definitely attest to the fact that that's true. Like some of the interiors were really not up to snuff, which is, you know, kind of what it is. But these days you get these nice interiors. Yenko takes things a step further here. They give you the custom embroidered headrests, even a nice touch here in the door sill plates, embroidered floor mats, and you can't forget the keychain, the custom keychain and custom key fob. Ultimately, what is all of this going to cost you? So let's talk price, right? First, you have to buy the donor vehicle. So this price is without the cost of the truck. And on top of that, you're spending $67,995, essentially 68 grand for the 700 horsepower version, and just about 70 grand for the 800 horsepower version. And I mean, at that point, like if you're spending 70 grand versus 67, why wouldn't you just spend it? Like, why do they make the 700 horsepower version? At that price point, it's just like, you're spending a ton of money on this thing. Why not? You know, but anyways, I digress. The other options are priced as follows. So for the leather seat trim package, which I think is the headrests, and probably like the floor mats and that kind of stuff, is priced at $29.95. For a painted supercharger or brake calipers, you're looking at $1,195. The retractable side steps that I went on and on about are $3,495. $495 for a custom color for the side stripes. $4,495 for a body color paint package. $3,495 for the blackout trim package, and that's about $16,000 total if you get all of the bells and whistles, which makes you sit at like, I want to say like $86,000 for the 800 horsepower package with all the bells and whistles pre-donor vehicle. 2024 Tahoe start at a touch over 56 grand, so you're out the door at a shade under $125,000. Definitely a pretty good chunk of change, and all this does come with a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty on the engine, supercharger, and what they call non-powertrain components. So I guess, you know, all these extras that they're offering, side steps, interior pieces, etc. I just got to make a little bit of a sidebar here. So when I see something like this pop up, It almost immediately reminds me of a video that I did way back in the day, or a series of videos. My buddy Mitchell, aka some of you know him as Stapleton 42, he had this Escalade known as the LS Escalade, which a lot of people ended up knowing about as very viral for quite a strip of time there. And that was the thing that really gave me a dopamine hit every time I saw it when I was recording drag racing, every time I saw it pull up to the line. So these big heavyweight SUVs with a ton of power, there's just something about it that's just like so different that it gives you this little rush whenever you see it going down. Anyway, so what does that have to do with this truck? Well, back in the day, Mitchell's SUV Escalade was making like 1,200 horsepower. The challenging part is being able to get all of that power to the ground. And, you know, if you're driving something like this, you really want to use it, right? You want to make sure that's going to be able to withstand anything that you can throw at it, because what's the point of having it if you can't use it, right? So Mitchell went through this process, I remember, of finding all these components to try and make it work, because, you know, back when he was building that thing, it was a real challenge to get that kind of power to the ground without breaking axles, drive shafts, probably transmissions, you know, rear ends, stuff like that. So I just say all that to say this, that a truck like this is incredibly impressive to me, that they can, 800 horsepower isn't 1,200 like what Mitchell was dealing with back in the day. Mitchell's was probably 1,200 to the tires. This is probably 800 at the crank, not at the tires, which, you know, is what it is. But still, to be able to offer that with the warranties is pretty cool to me. We've come a long way even in the past couple of years, it seems like, you know, comparing apples to oranges. But I just think that a heavyweight SUV, full weight, like luxury, you know, all the gadgets and gizmos in this thing with all that power and a warranty, and you know, I think with the warranty, they're probably pretty confident this thing isn't going to break. So my thoughts, very cool idea. The price, though, I've done videos on stuff like this before, and it's always the thing that hangs people up is the price. So without the price, I think that we can all pretty much kind of agree, most of us at least, that this is a pretty awesome package to be able to get from the dealer with a warranty. I think we can all acknowledge that. But the price always brings out the comments of, you know, I could build XYZ for way less, which is probably true if you're getting a Tahoe. You know, you could buy a Tahoe, or get, you know, a Tahoe or Suburban or Escalade, whatever, that's like a year old, 2 years old, and take it to an aftermarket place and, you know, have them do some similar modifications. Probably save a little bit of money. But I think the idea here is that, you know, you're getting something that's supposed to be unique and limited. Definitely a part of the money you're spending is going towards owning a Yenko vehicle, which, you know, it has evolved through the years. It's not quite the Yenko, like owning a, you know, an old school Yenko Camaro, for example. But you're still getting a Yenko vehicle. And who really knows what these things are going to be down the road, if they're going to be, you know, a collector's item or whatever. But I feel like that's kind of how they're being sold, is as a collector's item, not necessarily. We always want to get into like the I can do it cheaper Olympics, and sometimes that's just not what it's about. This is more of like a premium high end for a certain demographic that kind of has some money to spend, doesn't really want to spend the time or money, you know, going out of their way to build something like this. And, you know, they just want to have something they could turn the key on, hit the throttle, not worry about anything, have a warranty. There's no second thoughts about it. You know, and for all intents and purposes, like if you just have a good chunk of change and you want like a cool family hauler, I feel like this is a pretty cool family hauler to have. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on something like this down in the comments below. Pretty expensive package, but also you're getting a pretty cool vehicle. And 125 grand is a lot of money, but also, like, I feel like there's still some sticker shock on that because our brains have not quite adapted to the price of like what vehicles are today. You got to remember, vehicles are a lot more expensive. You could easily spend 125 grand on you know, just a new pickup truck or something like that, like a TRX, right? 700 horsepower. They're what, probably 100 grand new. Back when, you know, they're discontinued now. They, like, speaking of which, completely sidebar, they came and went so fast, like way too fast for me. But trucks like that are like 100 grand or more. So like 125, probably not as over the top as a lot of people want to say. But anyways, let me know your thoughts. Do you agree? You disagree? Would you spend the money on something like this? What do you think? And what color are you going with? I always go back to that. I like the Auburn. What do you want? What do you want out of this thing? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all the likes, subscribes, comments, and I appreciate you guys. I will see you again in a couple days here.